as Rod goes to the police. He claims, in front of a female officer, that his friend was abducted by white people to serve as a slave, just like the man missing in the photo. She calls in 2 more officers to listen to Rod's story. They all start giggling after he's done. He won't be taken seriously by anyone. Rod calls Chris's number again, and Rose answers. She lies by claiming that Chris left 2 days ago and that she is concerned about his whereabouts. She believes he took a taxi or an Uber. Rod informs her that he went to the police station, and she becomes concerned. When he realizes something is awry, he tries to record the call, but when he starts talking to her again, she tells him she knows he has feelings for her. He tells her she's a crazy B***tch and hangs up. Chris wakes to find Jim Hudson on the TV. He tells Chris that they're going to switch brains. The other people at the party were all about being black, but Jim couldn't care less. What he really wants is to be able to see the world through Chris's eyes. Dean's mastery in neurosurgery has made all of this possible. Missy also hypnotizes the body donors to prepare them for the process. He will remain in the dark emptiness, but as a passenger. The flashing is an unwelcome side effect, as they witnessed earlier during the party. Chris notices that the padding on the chair arm has been exposed after his fingernails tore through the leather. Chris is once more gone as the spoon and glass appear on the TV and the spoon is cling on the glass. Dean and Jeremy prepare Jim Hudson for a brain transplant. Dean instructs Jeremy to go get Chris. As we can clearly see, they were in the home's basement when Jeremy entered the room and discovered Chris unconscious. He removes his cuffs and prepares in 4. Chris wasn't unconscious after all, he'd stuffed padding from the chair in his ears to block the sound of the teaspoon. He knocks out Jeremy. In order to find Jeremy, Dean makes a call and leaves the lab area. Chris rushes him and stabs him with the antlers from the animal in the adjacent room. He knocks over a candle that ignites the blanket covering Jim Hudson too. Chris locates Missy after going upstairs. She goes for the teacup and spoon, but Chris beats her to them and smashes the cup. Instead, she uses a knife to assault him. However, he turns the knife against her, killing her instantly. Chris goes for the front door again, but Jeremy has returned and puts him in a chokehold. Chris tries to pull open the front door twice, but Jeremy shuts it both times. On the 3rd attempt, Chris stabs Jeremy in the thigh and brutally head stomps him, breaking his skull as he kicks the door. Rose is unaware of anything because she has her headphones in. She is searching for pictures of muscular, attractive black men while listening to music. He dashes outside and enters Jeremy's car. On the passenger seat is the medieval helmet from earlier. He begins down the driveway but collides with Georgina that he cannot simply leave her to suffocate like he did to his mother, so he puts her in the car and drives off down the driveway. When she wakes up she attacks him. During the process, her wig falls off, and we notice she has a scar across her head from a brain transplant. They crash into a tree, and she dies. Suddenly, the rear-view mirror is blown away. Rose is coming after Chris with a rifle. Rose shoots again, this time missed Chris. From out of nowhere, Walter runs past Rose in pursuit of Chris, and Rose says, "Get him, Grandpa," as he tackles Chris. They wrestle on the ground, and Chris snaps a photo of him. Flash! Walter turns around and asks Rose's gun. She hands it to him, and he shoots her in the stomach before turning the rifle on himself. Rose is on the ground, bleeding. She reaches for the weapon, but Chris knocks it away. As he bends over her, Rose puts a hand on his cheek and tells Chris that she loves him. Chris starts to choke Rose, but stops. He can't go through with it. A police car arrives. Rose calls weakly for help, knowing the local police will throw Chris in jail. However, Rod is the one getting out of the police car. Chris gets to the car. Rod looks at the chaos and says, "Man, I told you not to go in that house." When Chris asks how Rod found him, Rod explains that he works with the TSA and that everything will be okay. Rod driving Chris away from the scene as Rose lies dead in the road.